Numbers. So numbers. What about the numbers in JavaScript? Numbers. What about the numbers? Values of the number type are numeric values, by the way. In JavaScript program, they are written as follows now. Like number 13. Like number 13. Use that in a program. And it will cause the bit pattern for the number 13 to come into extends inside the computer memory, and JavaScript uses a fixed number of bits, 64 of them, and to store a single number value. There are only so many patterns you can make with 64 bits, and which means that the number of different numbers that can be represented is limited, and with n decimal digits you can represent 10 numbers similarly, given 64 binary digits, by the way, and you can represent 2 different numbers, and which is about 18, and 18 with 18 zeros after it, and that's a lot. And computer memory used to be much smaller, and people tended to use groups of 8 or 16 bits to represent their numbers, and it was easy to accidentally overflow such small numbers and to end up with a number that didn't fit into the given number of bits. And today, by the way, even computers that fit in your bucket have plenty of memory, and so you are free to use 64-bit chunks, and you need to worry about overflow only when dealing with truly astronomical numbers, and not all numbers less than 18 fit in a JavaScript number. So and those bits also store negative numbers, and so on. So one bit indicates the sign of the number. A bigger issue, by the way, is that non-whole numbers must also be represented. To do this, some of the bits are used to store the position of the decimal point, and the actual maximum whole number that can be stored is more in the range of 9 quadrillion 15 zeros, and which is still pleasantly huge and fractional number. What about the fraction? Fractional numbers are written by using a dot, like 9.81. 81 will be fraction here, fraction number like 9.81. And for very big or very small numbers, you may also use scientific notation by adding an e for exponent followed by the exponent of the number, like this example now, and that is 2.998 multiply 10 will be this number. And calculations with whole numbers, also called integers, smaller than the 9 quadrillion, are guaranteed to always be precise. And unfortunately, calculations with fractional numbers are generally not, and just as cannot be precisely expressed by a finite number of decimal digits, by the way. And many numbers lose some precision when only 64 bits are available to store them, and this is a shame, but it causes practical problems, by the way, only in specific situations. The important thing is to be aware of it and to create fractional digital numbers as approximations, not as precise values. And what about arithmetic? The main thing to do with numbers is arithmetic. Arithmetic operations such as addition or multiplication take two numbers, values, and produce a new number from them. And here is what they look like in JavaScript, like 100 plus 4 multiply 11. 100 plus 4 multiply 11. The plus and multiply symbols are called operators, by the way. Operators here. And the first stands for addition and the second stands for multiplication. Putting an operator between two values will apply it to those values and produce a new value, by the way. And what does the example mean? Add 4 and 100 and multiply the result by 11. Or is the multiplication done before the adding? And as you might have guessed, the multiplication happens first. And but as in mathematics, you can change this by wrapping the addition in parentheses. Like this example. Open parentheses, then write 100 plus 4. Then multiply for 11. This is priority. Priority, yeah. Okay, so for subtraction, there is the operator minus operator or subtract operator, and division can be done with this sign operator. And when operators appear together without parentheses, the order in which they are applied is determined by the precedence of the operators. And the example shows that multiplication comes before addition, and the divide operator has the same precedence as multiply. Likewise for plus and subtract, when multiply operators with the same precedence appear next to each other, as in 1 subtract 2 plus 1, they are applied left to right. 1 open parenthesis 1 subtract 2, then plus 1. These rules, by the way, of precedence are not something you should worry about. And when in doubt, just add parentheses. And there is one rule, sorry. And there is one more arithmetic operator, and which you might not immediately recognize. And the percent symbol is used to represent the remainder operation. Like x percent y is the remainder of dividing x by y. And for example, 314 percent 100% produces 14, and 144 percent 12 gives 0. And the remainder operators precedence is the same as that of multiplication and division. And you will also often see this operator referred to as modulo. Okay, so what about the special number? So what about now the special number? What about the special number? There are 3 special values in JavaScript that are considered numbers but don't behave like normal numbers. And the first 2 are infinity and infinity, which represent the positive and negative infinities. Infinity subtract 1 and is still infinity, and so on. And don't put too much trust in infinity-based computation, so it isn't mathematically sound, and it will quickly lead to the next special number, nan. And nan stands for not a number. Even so, it's a value of number type, by the way. And you will get this result when you, for example, try to calculate 0 divide 0. 0 divide 0 by 0, infinity. And infinity or any number of other numeric operations that don't yield a meaningful result, by the way.